Hey there, it's David G here. Hidden city ticketing, also known as skiplagging, seems to be all the rage these days. You book a ticket from A to C, but you get off at B and save money or miles in the process. News outlets are talking about it, airlines are complaining about it, and basically everyone and their grandma seems to be hyping it up. But is hidden city ticketing worth it? Let's take a look and find out. Hidden city tickets can be an effective way to save money on airfare. There's even a whole website dedicated to finding hidden city fares for you called skiplagged. Take this flight from Los Angeles to Houston. If you booked a ticket to Memphis with a layover in Houston and skipped the last leg, you'd be flying on the exact same flight leaving at 5:45 a.m., and it would be $30 cheaper than if you booked just the nonstop flight. Or let's look at this fare on SAS over in Europe. You'd have to pay over $200 to book this flight from Spain to Denmark nonstop. But if you booked a hidden city ticket, you could book it for $96. That's over $100 less. You can even apply the same concept to mileage bookings. For example, the nonstop flights from San Francisco to Phoenix here are 7,000 American Airlines miles. But when you book flights from San Francisco to Yuma, Arizona with a layover in Phoenix, the price drops down to 6,000 American Airlines miles. The problem, at least for airlines, is that when you book a hidden city ticket, you won't be flying on the last leg or legs. So they'll have an empty seat, and that means they'll be losing money. While it's generally not illegal to book a hidden city ticket, it may very well be against the airline's terms and conditions and could get you in trouble with them if you get caught. There are a lot of varying opinions out there on hidden city ticketing, but the fact is it's probably not going to go away overnight. There are definitely risks to booking a hidden city ticket, but luckily, those risks can be mitigated. One, you pretty much can't check bags because they'd be routed to your final destination. Well, is that really a problem these days? Most airlines charge for checked baggage in their lowest fares, and I personally would recommend always traveling with a carry-on sized backpack like I do. Okay, fine, I know not everyone is into one-bag travel, and though I've heard rumors of people claiming that they're sick and need their bag urgently during the layover, I wouldn't really recommend doing that. Two, in my view, the biggest risk is that of being rerouted due to a cancellation or delay. Maybe the best way to mitigate the risk of this happening is to focus on routes that are only served by one hub. I've also heard of skiplaggers trying to focus on routes that are less likely to be impacted by weather or delays, but still, there's really always going to be a significant risk of delay or cancellation on any route in my experience, so I don't really find that approach so convincing. 3. You need to show up to your flight ready to spout out the arrival airport of your last leg as your final destination, in case that comes into question. Of course, most of the time you'll have little to no interaction with staff at any given airline, but it could happen. Some airline employees might not really even care if they do find out, but if you were to inform the wrong person that you intend not to fly to the last leg of your ticket, things could go south pretty quick. Basically, the more you are flexible in your travel plans and the smarter you are about considering what could go wrong, the more likely it is that hidden city ticketing could be an interesting endeavor for you. But you're probably wondering, if this guy's gone through all the effort to create this video, he probably booked a few hidden city tickets himself too, right? For obvious reasons, I'm not going to share the details of hidden city tickets that I've flown, but I can tell you that all of the hidden city tickets that I've booked, I've successfully flown except for one. And that was a very unique scenario during the pandemic due to not having a recent enough COVID test. Still, I personally find the amount of work involved in preparing for a hidden city ticket to often outweigh the savings you could actually get by booking one. Even in addition to all the other considerations that I've already mentioned, I always prepare for the scenario of arriving at the final destination printed on my boarding pass. Is that a step too far? I don't know. Going back to our examples of hidden city ticketing, I'd probably pass in the Los Angeles to Houston example. Saving just $30 isn't a big enough incentive for me. You could also think of it by the percentage of savings you get. So in this case, about 19%. Even if the savings were higher, I'd still be hesitant to book this route, given that United alone offers this route via 4 different hubs, and the chances of rerouting seem pretty high to me. In short, in my view, the extra planning involved in this one is a whole lot more than the amount you'd actually save. But with the SAS flight from Malaga to Copenhagen, the amount of savings is a whole lot bigger. Skiplag shows a slightly lower price of $220 from what I found on Google flights for $234. So taking the $220 price on Skiplag, you'd be saving a whopping $124 by booking this as a hidden city ticket. That works out to be about 56% off the original price. To me at least, skiplagging looks a whole lot more attractive in this example. Then going back to the San Francisco to Phoenix example booked with miles. The savings in total only account to 1,000 miles. and that can be considered about 14% in savings, if you don't take into account the $5.60 of taxes and fees you have to pay for domestic US award bookings. Interestingly though, if we check the possibility of being rerouted on this route, nearly all flights from San Francisco would be on American Airlines via Phoenix. So if the savings were, say, 3,000 miles, this one could start to be pretty interesting for someone looking to do some hidden city ticketing. Keep in mind that the fares that I'm using in this video are just examples and have already expired. To be clear, I'm not advising that you do or don't partake in hidden city ticketing, but I do hope I provided you with all the necessary info to determine if hidden city ticketing is worth it or not for you. Given all that you learned today, do you think hidden city ticketing can be worth it? Drop your thoughts in the comments and make sure to subscribe to my channel for more videos to help you travel better.